They put us in the house, and they said, we will give you 2 hours. Either we shoot you all or you leave. And I want you to go to the houses that your grandfather or your father have and put a flower, a rose, and tell the people there, this is my house, my father's house, my grandfather's house. I want to put a rose to remember it.
We haven't brought in Hamas or maybe the parts of the Palestinian resistance which certainly do not subscribe to your methods. And you could tell me.
I went to Qatar several times to talk to Hamas about nonviolence. Some of them, they accepted very well. Others rejected completely.
A lot of times when violence erupts in that part of the world, people say, where's the Palestinian Gandhi or Martin Luther King or Mandela? And we always have names for them. Well, this is Mubarak Awad, who literally was called the Palestinian Gandhi for quite a while. His story is rather incredible. 43, so he lived through the Nakba as a young boy and then through a lot of pivotal years, and you'll have to track his whole story all the way to the end. There's some interviews that you do in life where you could tell something really special is happening during it. I was absolutely privileged to have this one, and I think we're all privileged to hear it. So enjoy, Mubarak Awad. I know you've told your life story before, but I'm going to ask for it again, and sort of the beginning of where you were born, when you were born, and through the unfortunate incident of becoming an orphan. So take me to your birthplace. We'll start there.
Yeah, I was born before the state of Israel existed, and that's in 1943. And my birth certificate is in 3 languages: Hebrew, Arabic, and English, that I am a Palestinian under the mandate. So I was, quote, a British citizen, if you want to consider that something before 1948. My father was a working man, and my mother was a nurse, and we were living just a little bit outside the old city of Jerusalem, and in an area called Musrara, which is it's like a stone throw to the old city, on the walls of the old city. So all our efforts and things have to do with Jerusalem and its culture and its people, and which is a very interesting thing for a person who's born in Jerusalem. There's always a festival, and mostly the festivals are religious festivals, either Muslims or Jews or Christians. And we join all the festivals because in those you have food and you have joy, you have everybody. So it wasn't something that is hard to recognize. My family or other family in Jerusalem, we have respect for anybody and everybody there, because if you don't have anything to do in Jerusalem, you are working or making people happy who do the pilgrimage to Jerusalem. That's important. And we always want to feel those who comes to Jerusalem as they are welcome. Doesn't matter where they are, what the religion there is, and what background or whatever it is. And as a child, I think I knew around 6-7 languages, and those languages have to do only how to talk to an Italian. So very like 10, 20 sentences, and they think I know the language. Or Greek. And Greek was more important for me because I am a Greek Orthodox as a Christian. So I go to church, and in our church sometimes all the services in Greek. So you learn the Greek and English, because also I was in a school, which is St. George's School in Jerusalem, that we learn English when we were young in school.
Yeah.
And it's a very good school. And if you have nothing to do over there and you want, as a young fellow, you need money, you will go to anybody, say, would I take you for a tour of Jerusalem? Would I take you to a tour of all those places that nobody knows in Jerusalem, holy places?
Yeah.
And we take one or two or three, and we take them, and they'll give you $1, $2, $5, and for a kid, that's a lot of money
Yeah.
on that. So that's not only me, but a lot of joy doing that, to be proud of what to show them in Jerusalem, or to find places where not all the tourists goes, and knowing a lot of people like the food, especially, to go to Jerusalem and you
Yeah.
have to eat knafe, you have to eat kaik, you have to eat za'atar, you have to eat hummus. And I'll take them to special places where I feel that the best places for them to eat, and to have place to sit coffee and talk to some elderly men and women from Jerusalem. And they'll tell you about their father, their grandfather, that. So it's a very, very nice atmosphere.
So were you aware as a young boy, I'm not sure how were you aware even that young that there was maybe this brewing political violence that was soon to descend on you? Do you have memories of this maybe being in the conversation, or?
It's a rumor. For a long time, it was a rumor. It was from 1930,
Yeah.
35 that there's a group are coming, and we will welcome them. Even not many people are aware. A lot of Palestinians who marry European girls, okay,
Yeah.
and many of them marry Jewish girls from Europe. And it becomes a status of, hey, I am proud. I have a European girl, blonde hair and everything. And we have many of those.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a fear of that they take things from you and they destroy you or whatever. That have never occurred in our mind at all.
Yeah.
Even
And
the politics of that did not enter into the schools, the school system that we have. Yeah, and I'll give you an example of my father. My father was so much in the Musrara where we live. You'll have neighbors who are Christians, who are Muslim, who are Jews, and it's like every week we go to one place or they come to us and we eat together. We have that life. Yeah.
yeah.
And life was nice,
Yeah.
just I would have it nice. I could go to one of the neighbors with their children, and we eat there, and just I have to tell my mom or my dad where I am going, and they say
Yeah.
okay, and they allow me to stay there 3, 4, 5 hours.
Yeah.
There's no fear. We have no fear
Yeah.
of neighbors.
And then just to be like really to put my finger on it, you felt and feel that Palestine was real. It's a real thing, a real nation, a real place. For people who say Palestine never existed, how does that hit you as someone who lived it and lives it?
It's we all hate the British.
Yeah.
The British, as a Palestinian, we think they are the creator of all the problems for us as Palestinians,
Yeah.
and it's true. It's not a false hatred.
Yeah.
Even I was in a British school, which is called St. George's School, and I got British education on the school, which is the best education in the land. But we hate them. We hate their politics. We hate their concept of colonization.
Yeah.
Okay, the idea that some people in Britain or in Europe or in any other place, they'll come and they say we want to conquer you because we are better than you are.
Yeah.
And the British, with their propaganda that Always
Yeah.
there is sunshine in the British Empire and all the things. And it was very frustrating for me. And in school, we were debating the teachers who are
Hmm.
British teachers that why you are doing that. They
Yeah.
put several things in front of us. One is that we want to bring a kind of civilization to those people who are not civilized, like us, like the British. You, Palestinian, you were under the Turk for 400 years, and now you wear some Turkish clothes. We want you to wear European clothes, not the tarbouch, the red hat, or the Bedouin style. We want you to be like us, and we want you to worship like us. We want you. This idea of being Muslims, to us, it's wrong. You have to be Christian.
Hmm.
Even the school that I went to, it's an evangelical school. They want you to be a Christian, but they don't want you to be Christian, stay Christian as an Orthodox Christian, as most of the Palestinians are. They want you to be Anglican,
Hmm.
and this is the best Christian, or maybe they have a nice combination that they have some system with you and God as an Anglican. God only
Yeah.
accepts Anglicans, and this is weird for us.
Yeah.
Even in school, we have no choice but to go every Wednesday to the cathedral to just pray, and we have a British service in English to tell us have to be very proud that we are in St. George's and we are Christians and all this thing. And they teach us the hymns, they teach us what the gospel is, not necessarily the Bible, but the Anglican gospel.
Hmm.
And they purposely put that in the mind of all the students. And we accept it and rejected it, doesn't matter what.
Yeah. And
And
so,
that's our life.
yeah. And so take me to 1947 and 48 and the events that transpired with your family.
Yeah, in 1947, even before that, we have groups. Very unfortunately, in 1936, that they start coming, and their idea is, and we knew it, and they say it, that we need a home for Jews.
Hmm.
And for me, as having Jewish friends who are in school together, I mean, I will say, what you need a home? They have their own home here.
Hmm.
Uh, and I never have the whole idea of thinking the Zionism or what they are thinking of or how they want to take things. Really, we felt it doesn't matter who you are welcome here. You could buy land any place. Doesn't matter if you are Chinese, Japanese, anybody could buy land and live here. We have no restriction on that. And then the idea stuck is that it became very well known after the what the German did to the Jews
Hmm.
in Germany. And that have nothing to do with us as Palestinians. The killing of the Jews have nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
We were not even knowing what's going on, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
And and if Europe was quiet or not knowing, far away from Europe in the Middle East, we have no clue what's going on. And the
Yeah.
news media wasn't putting anything to us to read or on the radio or anything that we have to know what's going on in Germany. So it was very, very, very difficult for us. The difficulty became so terrible is that when your neighbor, okay, who happened to be a Jew, will come to you and say, we want to protect you from other Jews who come here because they might take your house. And say, why they want to take our house? We are, my father and mother, we have 7 children,
Yeah.
which they have. I'm the one in the middle, 7 children. And life is good. Until 1948, when my father was shot at the house, he was shot, and we have to bury him. And then reality hit us badly.
Yeah.
I was that time 5 years old. The sister was 40 days old, and
Yeah.
the older brother was 12 years old.
And who shot
And
him? Was he? I mean, because I've seen some of the stories of it. The events of his. I think it was like your older brother got him an armband or something to try to protect him, like a Red Cross brand. Like, what was the story? Who
my
shot
father,
him? Yeah.
my father have an armband because my mother was a nurse, and he will go and get anybody who's injured. Doesn't matter if you are injured. They don't ask you what your religion or
Yeah.
anything. They bring to my mother to the house, and she will try to help in any way she can with that because she's a nurse. That's how everybody's doing there.
So he wasn't a combatant. He didn't have a gun or anything.
No,
He was just a war had broken out,
exactly.
and yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and my mother was very religious. Even after my father was shot, she really pushed us hard. Do not revenge. The one who killed your father doesn't know that he make me a widow, and we have like 7 orphans now,
Yeah.
and we have to take care of each other. But that doesn't mean that you have to revenge and start killing someone else.
She said this like
That
right away, like that. I
right
mean,
away.
like, do you remember the day? Like, it's just so crazy to me. Like, you just say it, he was shot so easily. It's like,
Well,
I just can't even
he
imagine
was,
it.
and we have to bury him in
Yeah.
our yard. That's the thing is that it's start the first thing start of the war. It
Yeah.
wasn't war everywhere, but it started the war, and a lot of our neighbors or things they already left.
Yeah.
Okay, but my father decided, no, I don't want to leave. This is my home. I want to stay, and we have to stay there. But after we stayed there, then in a week we will have the Jordanian came, the Jordanian army, and they thought that we are Jews because we are Christians. And we have to tell them we speak Arabic, we speak Hebrew, and we speak English. That doesn't make us, in their mind, why you speak English?
Yeah.
Okay? Well, in Jordan, they don't speak except one language, and hardly they have a colloquial Palestinian slang in the language. So when we speak with them, even in Arabic, they have difficulty understanding us.
Right.
But there are mostly Bedouins when they came. The difficulty is that they don't have a process of eating. So they'll come to your house, the first thing they say, give us food. I mean, order food or we'll shoot you or we'll kill you or what. So we always have somebody coming to the house, even after the death of my father, that we have to feed them, okay, because they are soldiers and somehow the soldiers should feed each other, but that didn't happen then. But it came more and more when the Jordanians start leaving, and then the what we call them the Aragon, okay, a group of Jews who are very angry, very want to kill every Palestinian they see.
Yeah. This is
Okay,
The Irgun militia. Yeah.
yeah, they came and they went and they put us in the house, and they said, we will give you 2 hours. Either we shoot you all or you leave.
Yeah.
And that's where, in my mind, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
So we have to leave, and we have to leave into Jerusalem, to go into Jerusalem, into
Okay.
the old city of Jerusalem. Because the Haganah, they didn't go into the city of Jerusalem, they were surrounding the city.
Hmm.
They were afraid of going into the old city.
Yeah. Is this the last
So,
time you saw your house?
no, we went to the old city, and we have friends, but the first week really was difficult because a lot of those friends have other friends who are staying with them in the old city. So we stayed in schools, we
Hmm.
stayed under steps, we were in the streets, and there's one lady, and her name, from the Husseini family, her name is Sithind al-Husseini. She heard of our story, and she came to my mother and she said, I could take the girls to the school. I'm going to have this for that they could have food, they could have place to stay. And there was another woman came, her name is Katie Antonios. And she said, I heard from Sithind that have to leave your home and I'll take the boys. And so we were divided so much that the girls went to Sithind and the boys went to called Dar al-Awlad, an orphanage that Katie Antonios have. And so my mother, she said you could have them, but I cannot say that you could adopt them.
Right.
And that's how we ended in the orphanages, and until we finished school.
Yeah.
So it was from 5 years to 17, 18,
Oh, wow.
I was in an orphanage. And the thing that I was able to run from school every week because my mother also, she volunteered in the hospice in the old city of Jerusalem as a volunteer, as a nurse. And I usually go over there, and when I go over there, I automatically go to the kitchen and get some food and run back to the orphanage.
Yeah.
The food was the most important thing for me at that time.
Yeah. And at this time,
Well,
Jerusalem was not yet under Israeli control, right?
no,
Right.
no. It was still under the Jordanian. And my mother was always very happy to see us. We were somehow lucky, but she never saw any sadness of the killing of my father. And that's what she said. As a Christian, this has happened, and let's have a new life that would be a peaceful life, and that we don't want you to carry a gun. So I never carry a gun in my life because of
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
never joined a group of people who are willing to fight with a gun or anything.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult,
yeah.
very, very difficult for me because I was a bully when I was young,
Yeah.
very much.
So then take me to, and so I guess also during two questions during this time, I guess you would have still been able to go back to the family home to maybe visit your father's grave or whatever that was still permitted. And then take me to 67, I guess, where everything probably
Yeah.
changed. Yeah.
One thing that my older brother, which is Nick, he and the brother after him, Bishara, they will sneak to the house and they will get us some clothes, they get us some papers, certificates, birth certificates, and some other things that whatever they could get. Every week, every day, or say smuggler in to get the house, because it wasn't occupied then, the house. It was completely empty. Then we see the house. Nobody lives there in the house. But after 67 war, okay, we went to see the house and we asked that we can go back to the house from the Israelis. A week later, they bulldozed the house. And that I felt that was very mean of them. But they show that meanness for a small thing, which I rejected so much. Why? What? The house is empty. It's our house. Why they don't give it to us? You took the whole land. Keep us in our house instead of in the orphanage. But there was no meaning on that.
So, okay, so now we're getting into, I think, your transition. I think I see a picture of him behind you. Is that Gandhi over your right shoulder back there? When did
Yeah.
you discover this? Well, I guess to put it in context, after 67, settlements start to show up in the West Bank, and I think let's call it the resistance starts to really, if that's fair to characterize that way, the Palestinian resistance starts to really take hold and change form after 67. And when did you discover Gandhi and start sort of preaching nonviolence? Because you're painting yourself as still sort of an angry bully at this point.
I was more involved. Yes, that picture of Gandhi, and that picture of the first Palestinian flag from our nonviolence office in Jerusalem. I put it down.
Okay, yeah.
The thing before that, we have a fellow in Egypt. His name Jamal Abdel Nasser.
Yes.
And he is captured every young Palestinian. Every young Palestinian. And we thought our faith is with him to bring us back our land, to bring Palestine back, to bring our houses back. And we adore him. It's like we worship him. Like every other week, he give a lecture or he give a speech, and you'll find in the store, any store, in the market, everybody is like waiting to hear his speech, and nobody talk to each other because we want to hear what he will say. And he will say about Palestine as though he's a Palestinian, to liberate Palestine. And we have to unite the Arab world for the sake only to liberate Palestine. And what else? You could hear much better voices than that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it was a bigger picture that we were not aware of. The British, the Americans, the European, their support is completely overwhelmed for what happened in Germany to the Jews there, that they cannot even make a decision that the Jews who come from a disaster to Palestine, that they have to live with the native people.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem became very much for me.
Yeah.
And the thing which happened to me, which was a disaster after a while, I was accepted at Yale University.
Yale
study.
in
the United States. But also I accepted Lee College in Cleveland, Tennessee. And there was no counselor to help me between Yale or Cleveland. The Cleveland in Tennessee, they say that they will give me $100 a month as a stipend. And I have no money, my mother have no money, my brothers have no money. So stupid of me, I didn't go to Yale. I went to Lee College. That was a disaster because I didn't understand the reason why those people. Lee College is a very Christian Church of God college. They came to the Palestinians, so they take children of Palestine to take them there to make them Christian, not as a Christian, I'm an Orthodox Christian, I'm Christian, but to make them part of their religion, which is Lee College, Christian, you know, evangelical Christians. I was miserable for 2 years in that. I couldn't
Yeah.
stand it. I really couldn't stand it because at Lee College in Tennessee, I want to go to a church. I choose to go to a black church. I love the singing of the blacks in the church. I come back to the college, nobody will talk to me. Neither students and the teachers are upset with me. Why you went to a black church? I say, because I love the spirituality of singing. I'm in the Orthodox, we always chant and happy in the church. And they wouldn't allow any of my friends from the church who are black to come and have dinner with me in the cafeteria of the college.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
the president of the college will tell me, you are not allowed to do that. We are segregation. We don't have, black cannot even come in the streets, and you bring black to your dorm and you want him to eat there, and that's not acceptable to us. I say, but you are a Christian school. How you treat blacks like that? And I just was so upset with Christianity from their point of view that after 2 years I say I cannot stand it anymore. I have to go back.
Yeah. And so you
And
went back
I went
to
back to
Palestine,
Jerusalem.
to Jerusalem. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really felt that I lost religion. I lost the faith that I have, that the strength of my mother faith. I lost it completely because they pray and they will have speak in tongues even as a church. They,
Yeah.
they are superior than everybody else. They even don't like Catholics because they are not real Christian. You have to be this Church of God. It's a very weird.
Yeah. Were
And
you also exposed to Christian Zionism there? Were they preaching about sort of rapture in Jerusalem stuff?
everything, yeah. And
That too.
I was so much opposing that. And so when I came back, and it was then we have the '67 war,
Yeah.
and I was uh, hired by a group of Americans called Mennonites, and they have an orphanage in Beit Jala, which is a very small village nearby Bethlehem, north of Bethlehem. And I became a teacher as well as the principal of the school there. And I really enjoy it. And I didn't know anything about Mennonites, that there is a church by itself. They believe in peace. I
Yeah.
said, my God, there's Christians who believe in peace. They are different than the Baptists, Southern Baptists, than other Christians. Yes. And they were also, I heard about Quakers. And that's really brought back Christianity to my spirit, to my heart, that there are people who have the same sense that we are all children of God, doesn't matter our religion, and we have to love each other because God loves us and we are all the children of God. And I was so happy to be there and help because I was in the orphanage. I make life so nice to the kids because my life was miserable in the orphanage. I have a library, I have people to come to do some art, to do some clay work, and to have in the orphanage that you don't need to feel that you don't go any place. Anytime you could go to market by yourself. You don't need to ask permission. You could come by yourself. I make it a sense of a community, which I want that in an orphanage in Jerusalem, but I couldn't. I have the
Yeah.
power then, and it was very nice. Doing that, I was able, they told me that we would like to come and continue your education, but in Bluffton College, which is a Mennonite college in Bluffton, Ohio. I said, look, I went to States, I hate America. I hate anything to do with America. America, they think they are Christian, but their idea of blacks, how they treat blacks, that's not Christianity. They all have to repent because they don't treat other groups like them. They feel superior, and I don't like this idea of superiority on that. And the fellow who came to see me again and again, he said, if you come to Bluffton, I'll give you a car. That
Nice
was,
car. Yeah.
I really, and I was like a child that still feeling I cannot afford a car. And here he's giving me a car. And when I came to Bluffton, he gave me a car. It was one of the oldest car I ever saw in my life. But he
Yeah.
told me, if anything happened to the car, I fix it. Don't worry. And then we became friends, and I really learned about peace.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned about Gandhi.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Gandhi, in the Arab world, he's bad. You know, we don't learn anything in the Arab world about Gandhi because he rejected an Islamic state when India was divided. Okay? And we thought in the Arab world that he's against Islam. So we didn't learn. So in my summer months, I'll go to India, and I got all the books about Gandhi. Everything he wrote, I got them, and I brought them. And by the way, when I tried to get all the books in Gandhi in the airport in Tel Aviv, they want to concentrate on why you are bringing those Gandhi's books and what's behind that. And I said, I want the Palestinian to know more about Gandhi. And they said, we have an Indian Jew in the airport. And if he said yes, you could let them go. If he said no, we'll confiscate them. He came and he said, why? I said, I was in school, I learned about Gandhi, and I want those books in the library for the school. And he said to them, why you want to talk, even ask me about that? This is good for Palestinians to know about nonviolence and Gandhi. So that's the most first time I see something wrong with the system that they wouldn't allow Gandhi's books.
It was like an Ashkenazi Jew who was skeptical, and then an Indian Jew who was like, "There's no problem."
No
Okay.
problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went also, then I was interested in knowing about more. Have there been a Muslim who believe in Gandhi, who believe in nonviolence? And I heard of a fellow, his name Abdul Ghaffar Khan, that he is a Muslim who believe in nonviolence. And he and his village all became follower of Gandhi as Muslims. So I went to India to meet him. Unfortunately, he was on his deathbed. I just saw him, but we couldn't talk. But I bought some of his books and brought him back with me in Tel Aviv. And the same thing, they call that Indian Jew at the airport.
The same guy. Yeah.
Crazy. He said, all right, he's all right. He believes in
Yeah.
Gandhi and he's a Muslim. He believes in nonviolence. Let him in.
Yeah.
And that's where I thought of having a center
Yeah.
okay, for the Palestinian Center to study nonviolence for the Palestinians. And all those books I brought and everything about Gandhi. And I went and, without any permission from anybody, opened the Palestinian Center for the Study of Nonviolence, translating Abdul Ghaffar book about a Muslim who became nonviolence. And I distribute that free to shops, to everybody on that. Then
This was like 1983 is when you founded the center.
yes,
Am I getting that right? Okay.
right, yeah. And then I have a cousin whose name is Jonathan Kuttab. He was on Wall Street and he was making a lot of money. I went to him and said, look, Palestine need you. Let's go over there, and we don't need always to say only the gun, with gun we could liberate our country. We have to liberate it through peace. Come over there. So he left there and he came and he went and studied Hebrew and passed the Hebrew exam as an attorney.
Wow.
And he started doing a lot of peace activities as a Palestinian. And we are very, very close. Till now, we are very close.
So let me just, if I could ask you just to contextualize your journey, because like 1983 into the first Intifada starts in 88. So we're in this period where, how would you characterize in the 80s the state of Palestinian liberation movements? We had, I've been reading a lot of like Ghassan Kanafani and the PFL in the early 70s and their activity. After Munich, of course, a lot of them were assassinated and eliminated around the world. How would you characterize the state of the conversation of Palestinian liberation? Because all through your story in the background is the West Bank settlements are increasing every year. Violence is increasing every year. I just want to contextualize it. How would you characterize it in the 80s?
I was 100% sure that if we stick to nonviolence, all right, that we would not have settlements. And I was one of those people, even as a nonviolent person, if there would be any start of a settlement, we go and destroy anything that have to do with the settlement before building it. And we have thousands of people to do it every minute, every day, every hour, every week, so that they would not build settlements.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was my idea, and it works in many places. We stop settlements. If they put electricity, we destroy the electricity. If they put water, we destroy the water. They cannot live without electricity, without water. And on a daily basis, we were very much. And that's where I learned it from Abdul Ghaffar Khan. And he said, we are the soldiers of nonviolence. Okay, you could be a soldier of nonviolence. And it's not the Quakers or Mennonite that if they hit you, give them the other cheek. No, you have to resist, but don't kill.
Yeah. So did you ever get hit or people around you attacked and pushed and beaten up? And
many times with bullets, with everything, but we did it. They were afraid of us more than we were afraid of them.
Because your resistance was fierce, but never to strike.
But also very concentrated on specific things.
Tell me.
Okay?
Yeah, tell me.
To have a settlement, the settlers or the people who are supporting them, they will be having olive trees. They will come and they want to destroy all the olive trees. Okay?
Yeah.
People come to us and we go and we plant olive trees where they destroy the olive trees. We planted so many olive trees. Israel would say, well, the land wasn't planted. So we go at night, we plant olive trees. I have Jews who come and plant olive trees with us. I have families in the village. They have to cook for us while we are planting trees. And they cook for Jews who are supporting us to plant trees. I was very, very happy that there are a lot of Israelis who are against settlements, who are really want peace with the Palestinians, and they don't
Yeah.
want a destruction of the Palestinian culture. Many, many.
Yeah. To that point, I'm going to reference. I saw the documentary "Courage in the Divide," which featured you.
Yeah,
I'm going to link to it. Everybody should watch it because one thing that is interesting in the story is the very lively conversation on what I would call the Israeli left. That was very much your ally, and especially in this period in the '80s, maybe felt a tipping point. Feeling that something was really going to pop with
yeah.
the
And
Intifada if they didn't do something. Yeah,
I'll tell you one situation.
yeah,
I always write in an Israeli press that we are doing this, and I would write uh, those people who have been helping us. This is what we are doing. And one time we were planting trees, and unfortunately it wasn't on camera. And one of the Israeli soldiers, he tried to hit one Israeli who's planting trees. And when I have anybody who plant trees, if we have foreigners, Israelis and Palestinians, the three of them have to plant one tree together in an area. And one Israeli soldier, a young one, 18, 19, 20 years old, he tried to hit the soldier. He had to hit the Israeli. And the Israeli took his card, and he was a big fellow, like in the army. And that fellow saluted him, and he said, sorry. He said, you shouldn't do that. We are planting trees because those farmers, they took all the 200, 300 olive tree out of their land, and we have just to plant like 10 inches or 2 feet olive tree and place it, and you want to destroy it, shame on you.
yeah, yeah,
And you cannot imagine how proud I was. He didn't tell me who was. He was a volunteer, and we accept any volunteer. We never ask them if they are in the army or not, but he was in the army to come
wow,
and plant
wow,
with us. And that makes me feel that we as humans, it doesn't matter Jews or Arabs or Muslim, Christian, that we have a sense towards trees and towards community and helping others, not destroying each other. Then
yeah,
with Jonathan was with me, I opened the Center for the Study of Nonviolence. And
right,
my whole idea was I want to write about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King is a Christian in the United States. In Palestine, we are all Muslim. We don't care for a Christian but I want them to know that this fellow, as a black fellow, he was able to resist the whites in America. And so I have magazines translated in with him. I have articles. I have things. I have talks a lot with his wife and his children. I met them many times, and I was talking so much about how one lady, she refused to move from the bus. I tell her a story to all the kids we have. We are proud of her, and we went and visit her. We went to them, and really it was a kind of connecting somebody. We connect people from the Philippines who are nonviolent. We collect people from Russia during whatever the United States start using the bombs there, that people who are injured but they're still alive to come to Palestine and to speak how devastating it is, but how we have to love and to engage in peace, and that would not
yeah,
happen again. All those. I was very much hated by the PLO, very much hated, because I was
yeah,
the PLO, that the only thing that we can do is the gun. I said, no, we have other choices. So many times my office will be destroyed, everything in it, all the computers and everything. It wasn't the Israeli, it was the PLO. And
Yeah.
other time it was Israelis. Other time I didn't care.
Yeah.
To the point that I went to meet Arafat
Hmm.
many times
How was that?
when you are not allowed to do that. And
Yeah.
I told him, why you are sending young kids who are 18, 19 to go and just to hit something which is meaningless? Why you don't use methods of nonviolence? He said, what you are talking about? I have no idea what this nonviolence. And I said, you bring all those abus, and I'll bring a lot of people who are world-known nonviolence activists. And he was at the time in Tunis. And we will talk and hear us. He
Hmm.
said, okay. I brought Gene Sharp, a fellow from Harvard University,
Hmm.
who wrote around 12 books about nonviolence. I brought people from India. I brought Mennonites. I brought a fellow by the name Abdulaziz Saeed from American University,
Hmm.
who really, as a Syrian, believe in nonviolence. Okay, and I brought a Catholic priest that he had been working with children in wherever war is, how he nonviolently he would not allow people to adopt those children out of the country, but to find families that they lost their children, they will give them those children. And we went there for a week, and they were listening to us. There is other alternative. And we convinced two or three of them very seriously that they could consider the idea
Hmm.
of not only an armed struggle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Arafat, one time he called me while he had a meeting. He said during Clinton time that Clinton asked him to come to the White House. Okay? And everybody said, don't. I said, go.
Hmm.
I said, it wouldn't hurt. Everybody think you are a terrorist, and here is a president asks you to come, and you don't want. I said it would be also nice to take your wife and kid with you to show that you are a human being.
Yeah. Yeah.
And everybody in the PLO around him hate me.
Yeah.
Why you told him that he had to go to the White House? America is the devil. America is the bad thing. America is supporting Israel. We cannot. I said, doesn't matter those things. You have to create new events. If he
Hmm.
is in the White House standing beside the president and the president talk to him, he doesn't talk to terrorists, he talk to human being. Change your mind, all those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we did it.
Yeah.
We did it. This is what it's an alternative way, and the Muslims have difficulty understanding that. So we took verses from the Quran about Muhammad and nonviolence, and we wrote
Hmm.
them, discuss them, and we start having sheikhs, imams to come and speak about nonviolence in Islam, which they themselves, they don't know that this is in the Quran. So it was energy everywhere. There is energy, and there's that, and then it was difficult
Hmm.
because I not only I I have no place for people to come. I start renting places in Jerusalem, like YMCA, YWCA, to give lecture about nonviolence. And in one time, I really made it an important that how to get rid of occupation with nonviolence. And I rented the place at the YWCA, and I thought I'll have 10, 20, 30 people, and I have more than 300 people came. I have a
Yeah.
lot of Israeli came. I have a lot of Mossad came. I have a lot of people from the PLO came, everybody. And I was saying it loud and clear that we are under occupation because we choose to be under occupation. We have to get that out of our mind. We have to be free, but you yourself have to be free and feeling free, not to accept occupation. But being free, you have to do it daily, something daily, to get rid of that occupation. You cannot accept to go to court or accept Israeli rules and regulation and you believe in freedom.
Yeah. Say more about this. Yeah, I want to. This is fantastic. I want to ask you about how you feel about the anger that was around you. That was the anger of the PLO. I mean, we could get to Hamas and the Intifada and what's coming next, but I'm sure you understood why they were angry and why they wanted to be violent or what they were fighting for. If you disagreed with the method,
they don't know. It's not that they're angry because they know. They don't know. We never have a course of peace studies at all. We never, everybody when study America, we study about the wars that America wins, the British wars, the French wars. But I will tell them, okay, look at France with all its might and everything. Algeria, more than 1 million people died, but they got their freedom.
Yeah.
And this is violence, and we don't need to have 1 million Palestinians die to get our freedom. Okay, so I was able. I have no fear. That's one thing with me. I have no fear. When I was kid, I have no fear. When I was teacher, I have no fear. When I was saying something, I don't care. I was criticizing Arafat openly to everybody. And Arafat sent several people to kill me and shoot me and destroy me. And that didn't materialize. But people, they came and they say, we are apologizing that we were trying to kill you, but we decided we would not.
Wow.
It's I don't know, something in you that makes it right.
Yeah.
Okay. And what's right is nothing can stop you. What you believe in right with justice to everyone, it doesn't stop you. You need justice for the Israeli. I will go to the Israeli in Jerusalem to be invited with the Israeli, okay, and I'll stand up in a synagogue and I said, you cannot, in a synagogue, you cannot worship God and occupy us. That's two things you cannot do. You either believe in God, okay, and you believe that Israel is your God. If you want to occupy us and continue your harassment of the Palestinians, they'll call the police, I'll get arrested, I'll get out. But
wait, so you would give that speech at a synagogue and they would call the police that you...
Oh, they'll call the police, yeah.
Yeah, so because we're getting to now...
But it's
go on.
important. I was, okay, I was asked to give lectures. And a lecture, there is a fellow by the name of Eddie Kaufman. He's a professor at the Hebrew University. He comes many times to where we have lectures at the center in Jerusalem. And he'll listen, and sometimes a fellow from the black community in the United States will come. I invite them to come and speak. He will be there. I have a Mennonite will come. He will be there. And then he asked me one time if it's okay for you to come and give a lecture at Hebrew University. I said, I love to. I went over there, and suddenly, in the lecture hall, there are like 20, 22, 23 Israeli flags behind me.
Yeah.
I said, Eddie, I came to lecture. Why all those Israeli flags? Could you wait a minute? I went to my car and I have that small Israeli Palestinian flag, that small one, and I took it. And they came and arrested me because I have a Palestinian flag. I couldn't give a
Oof.
lecture.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I told him, this is what difficulty it is.
Yeah.
He said, we are sorry, we apologize. Could you come again and give a lecture? I said, why? You like me to be arrested all the time? He said,
Yeah.
no, this time you would not be arrested. I went over there and just the opening, I say, I am a PLO. I'm a member of the Palestinian who are fighting for Palestinian state.
Hmm.
I believe in nonviolence, but any party, it will be different. I'm one of the parties who, of one, believe in nonviolence in the PLO. I got arrested.
Why? Like, why do you think? I mean, we're getting to. I don't want to ruin the
No,
story.
but
We're
I'm
gonna
just
get
telling
to
you
it soon. Yeah.
that becomes because the PLO in Israeli society, in Israeli government, is a terrorist organization.
Yeah.
And if you're a member of the PLO, that means you're a terrorist. But how
Yeah.
could you say I'm a terrorist when I believe in nonviolence?
Yeah.
I have to go to
Yeah.
court, I have to go to prison, and have to do that. And
How
that
many times
really
have you been arrested in your life?
around 40, 45 times.
Oh, I'm at zero. I think I'm sticking at zero for
Oh,
now.
you
But
have to
yeah,
do that.
I have to. Okay, at least once. All
You
right.
have
Good.
to taste that. And
Rite of passage.
they stop arresting me because when I am arrested, a lot of Palestinians gather around me and I'll be talking about nonviolence. So they are
Yeah.
now arrested again. They put me in a special uh, without seeing any Palestinian or anybody.
You had a literal captive audience, and in the other ones. Yeah.
And I was enjoying it, believe me.
Yeah.
They knew it. They knew
I
it.
guess I'm getting to get to the political questions. Like, I think there's obvious reasons for this for the Zionist plan, but why are they threatened by nonviolence? Right? Like, what was it about you? And we could get to your story of how you are removed from that part of the world. I want you to tell that part of the story. But what is it about this nonviolent Christian thing that you're doing in the West Bank that is just such a problem for them?
I think the government, not the people, the government of the Israeli government, they don't want any opposition. It doesn't matter violence or non-violence. They prefer that I throw bombs
Right.
rather than using non-violence. Non-violence very powerful.
Yeah.
Okay, I started programs with Israelis. It affects so much the Israeli society, and really I was arrested for no reason. I went to the refugee camps and they say everybody over here in the refugee camps sad and saying we want, Palestine. I said, okay, I have a program for you. Many refugee camps we have. I said, I'll buy the flowers and I want you to go to the houses that your grandfather or your father have and put a flower, a rose, and tell the people there, this is my house, my father's house, my grandfather's house. I want to put a rose to remember it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I have psychologists, Israeli people. What you are doing now, you are destroying our culture. You are threatening. You want to take those houses. It became a big issue there.
This is
But
before the wall, and there was more free, just so the audience can track that. Before there
but
was more free travel, right?
that was more, yeah, before. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
no war, nothing. Palestinian, we used to uh, all the time to the
Yeah.
Mediterranean to look at the woman with bikinis. That's why I
Yeah.
to swim.
Yeah.
But we don't have a
How
sea. We don't have a sea in Jerusalem.
Yeah. I just want to, if you don't mind, while you're on the subject of the Nakba and the loss of the houses, I've been trying on my show lately to help people try to emotionally connect with what you just said. That's a really powerful image of planting a flower on a doorstep or whatever, because I think you probably encounter this. For those of us in the West, we get media, and sometimes the Nakba can feel very symbolic, like something you read in a history book and abstract, like, oh, the land is stolen. But it's very visceral, right? This is actual stone and house and memories that was yours, right? Well, in your case, yours was bulldozed, but these people are like, that was my bedroom, right? It's that tangible. I want people to, if you like to understand that. It's hard. It's easy to lose sight of it in these big wars, and we see the news. It's easy to lose sight of that.
Yeah, but we have one example. I'll give you an example, but many examples.
Yeah,
But there's one example. There's a rabbi that the people went to the house and said, "This is our house. That's our bed. Could we go in? Oh, that's the cupboard of my mother. That's where my brothers and sisters they sleep in that rabbi house." He couldn't stay in his house, and he make his house for childcare for Palestinians and Israeli kids.
yeah, yeah. Beautiful.
So, so there's a humanity in everybody. There is just to touch it, and to do action about it. And he did that.
Yeah,
We,
yeah,
we have, we have. I went to people that their children being killed by Palestinians.
yeah,
Okay, and also I went to Palestinian. Their children were killed by Israelis. I invite both sides. I said, "You are sad. They are sad. You are Jews. They are Palestinian. But can you work together to stop all this killing? Can you work together to
yeah.
go together and say, I am tired. My son is killed. My daughter is killed because of this craziness." And we did that. And the Israelis were against it.
Yeah. So
To
so
have those
take
people, their children die and stop the war, but the Israel came against it. They want to arrest us
yeah.
because they did that.
So take me to your deportation and the facts and story around when you were removed from the scene.
In our center, we have many, many volunteers. Okay, many, many volunteers. And we were able to get the work of Gene Sharp translated to Arabic. And that's one problem I created. And Gene Sharp told me, "You are the most violent person ever met." When I translated the things he's supposed to do, I took things, I left other things which doesn't fit us in our mentality. And he came and he was so upset with me. First, I didn't take permission from him to translate. Second, I didn't translate it right. I took my liberty of saying I wouldn't listen to this, I have that. And third, you cannot translate something without the author's permission. And this is violent. I say, "Sue me, whatever." Okay. After that, we became friends. But he have a very systematic way of dealing with issues. And he wrote 120 ways of methods of nonviolence. And we put those methods, what the Palestinian can do. This week you could do this. This week you could do this. This week you could do that. This week. And then we start writing for information in different cities how to do that, that people would do it without the Israeli catch any of those people who is sending those messages. We don't have FedEx, or email or anything at that time. So we brought people from different cities to come to the center and memorize what are those things they have to do every week. And then they go to Ramallah, they go to Nablus, they go to Bethlehem, they go to Hebron, and they will type it and they print it and they give them. So in 1 week.
What were some of the specifics that they were memorizing? Like specific tactics?
Yeah. And this day, you have to walk in the street with Palestinian flags.
Okay.
And if you cannot have a flag, you wear red. The one beside you wear black, one beside you white, one beside you green, and walk together like a Palestinian flag. You have you have to give food to the poor. And you said giving food to the poor is part of nonviolence. And you have to say this is because of nonviolence. You have to take pictures of Gandhi and distribute it in villages, or to have books of whatever books or leaflets to give it to others. Israel got upset and got angry. They want to know how suddenly everywhere in the West Bank and in Jerusalem there are leaflets every 2 weeks, what the Palestinians would do. They knew that I am doing it in the center. And they said loud and clear that we couldn't stop him, but we don't know how to stop him. We don't know how those people have all those ways of doing it. Then the Intifada starting, and in the Intifada they use all those things that we published. Everything we published, they put it. And it's not necessary to be our center, but a lot of people who work with us in different places, they felt that they are ready to do that. And suddenly everybody is doing it. Okay?
Yeah.
From 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock or to 2 o'clock, whatever time we say, close everything. Okay? And we have to prove that we have the power of closing all the shops, everything, and to show that people are listening to us. And they did that. The Israelis got upset. They even came with bars to open the the stores. Why you are listening to those people? You are open. You should stay open. You see, the reaction was before we wait for the Israelis to do something, we do the reaction. And I said, no, we have to do something. Let the Israeli react to us. And that's what the Intifada became important.
Yeah. And the first Intifada was largely peaceful movements, right? There was, what part of the Intifada do you think that you...
100% peaceful. And they gave me the credit of 100%, which I shouldn't accept 100%, really, because everybody was helping with that. I wasn't the only one. I was working towards it for many years, and then it materialized.
And then when did you realize they wanted you out?
I think from Eddie Kaufman, who was that professor, and they were at the Knesset. A fellow, he told me that they want to kill you. One Knesset member said in the Knesset that I have to be killed. And the other said, no, why we have to kill him? Let's deport him. And my reaction when he came to tell me, said, can you take me to the Knesset and let me meet that fellow who want to kill me? He said, Mubarak, you'll make a mistake. I said, let it be my mistake. I want to see him and tell him why he want to kill me. He is member of the Knesset. So he took me there. I knocked at his door and I said, I am Mubarak Awad, and you said that you want to kill me. Could you give me a reason? I didn't kill any Israeli. I didn't kill any Jew. I didn't kill anybody. Why you want to kill me? That fellow, he fell on the ground completely. I didn't touch him. No touching, just he fell. And then security came and took me to Maskubi over there, the jail, and they said, you don't have permission to be there. I said, nobody needed permission to go to the Knesset, but that fellow said he wanted to kill me, and here I have the newspaper, what his name is, and he wanted to kill me. And he said, but you offended him, you scared him, and he fell. I said, I didn't touch him, but I told him that at least see the one you want to kill. Look at his eyes. Look at him, see it as a person. That evoked a lot. The next week they have a march in Jerusalem with coffins by my name. So again, that increases.
This was Israelis marching with coffins with you? Okay.
Increases the pressure on that. I didn't care for that. I said, well, if I believe in nonviolence and I could do that, that's a good idea also, even I thought. But the worst part of it is that the Intifada was going by itself.
Yeah.
Okay? Then after you put sparks, everybody started putting sparks. And they thought that I still have a hand in it, which I don't. So they took me to jail, and I hired, which is Jonathan Kuttab, who was the attorney, my attorney. He brought one of the very famous attorneys in Israel. He never lost a case. He said, could I take your case? I said, you might lose it. He said, I never lost a case. That's in front of the Supreme Court. And I went in front of the Supreme Court, and I told them, I am a Palestinian. I have no justice in this court. I'm a Christian. I have no justice in a Jewish court. You don't accept my being a Christian. Yeah. I am an Arab. You don't believe justice for the Arabs. And you want to hear me and decide my fate. And I don't think that you have even the guts of hearing why I am here. I'm here to tell Palestinians not to kill a Jew, not to kill an Israeli, not to kill anybody, that we have to be free. And you, as Jews, know what freedom means before we all be part of execution by Jews, by Jews like you. Wow. It didn't take them long. And they said that the Supreme Court agree for your deportation. And
so
they make an excuse. No, they make an excuse because you don't have an extension on your visa. I laughed.
Yeah.
I said, you don't need to have an excuse. You want to deport me because I'm heading for you as Israelis.
Yeah.
One fellow said, yes, you are, but we have to have a good cause to deport you.
Wow.
So
your lawyer lost a case, one case.
No, and that he lost it. But in that time, Reagan, through the ambassador, U.S. ambassador, he know me well. I mentioned a few things. There are a lot of Arabs marrying Jewish girls, sometimes even from the army. And the Israelis hate that for an Arab to marry an Israeli. And the parents want to kill them, both parents. The Arab They don't want their children to marry Israeli. I go to the ambassador. He said, what's up, Mubarak? I say, I need a visa for this. They are marrying each other. We want to send them out. And he'll give them a visa for them to go. So we became friends on that. He told President Nixon, sorry, Reagan,
Yeah, it would be Reagan. Yeah.
that tell Schultz to go to the Israelis and tell him not to deport Mubarak Awad. And while Schultz was going over there, the Israeli quickly want to get me out. And very unfortunately, they are not smart. They want me out in an LL aeroplane. And I said, I wouldn't go in an LL. The international law, if I refuse to go, you cannot force me to go. And they discussed it. They said, okay, we'll wait until TWA come. And when the TWA come, we have somebody from the embassy went to the pilot and he said, please, if we put him in handcuff with security in the plane, he's not a terrorist. He's a good person. So when I went in there with the TWA, and I went from jail, and they put me in the back of the plane with handcuffs and with two security. When the TWA was in the middle of the international, the pilot came and he said, take the handcuffs off, and we want to have him in first class. And I got first class, and they have all of this white thing on there to bring me a meal, and automatically I have tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
From there to there, I mean, I didn't like what a lot of Reagan did, but he did me a favor. He was overwhelmed. Yeah. When I reach New York, I have hundreds of people, especially from the State Department, from government. They treat me well. They didn't take me out in the regular way because Kahana was waiting over there for assassinating me in New York.
Kahana,
they took me from a different way and put me in a hotel with a different name.
Wait, so, who was waiting to assassinate you? The Kahani, that was the
Rabbi Kahana.
Who are they?
Yeah. Rabbi Meir Kahana.
Yeah.
And I have a debate with him and many times on Israeli TV, and I told him, if we will have real peace, let Palestinians marry Israeli, Israeli marry Palestinians, and that's real peace, because the kids that will be the grandchildren of both sides, and nobody want to destroy their grandchildren. He wanted to take this chair and hit me with it in the studio.
Can I ask you on that flight, I know the tears were falling down. Can you describe the emotions of that? Did you think you were leaving the cause? I mean, I know because I've traveled there and spent so much time with this issue that, leaving Palestine is such a complicated emotional feeling. There's these feelings of guilt almost of leaving the cause behind. Maybe yours was different since it wasn't, you were willfully going, but did you think that was the last time you were going to see Palestine, or?
Well, I was thinking of that will be the last time. But the thing that I trained so many other people that they took the work I was doing, that was very helpful for me and emotionally less troubling. I have my nephew Sammy, that he have a master's degree in peace studies in Washington, D.C. So he went and he followed there. I have Jonathan, he did a lot of work there. And I have many others in different cities that they do what I was doing in Jerusalem. And they are not afraid. They felt part of their duty is to follow what I was doing. And unfortunately, some of them were killed, and it's a hard way when you believe in something and somebody follow you, and he or she will be killed, I'm glad that I was deported, not them. That because I could manage. I have a good job in the States. I work with youth. I have a national youth advocate program that is spread of thousands of youth working, and nearly 1,000 worker working with me to help delinquent and neglected children. So I could come and continue the work over here with the salary, with everything. So it wasn't a disaster. I didn't
Yeah.
see that.
You didn't feel like you were disconnected
Yeah.
still from the effort. Yeah.
Then I have been working with Arafat that he have to go to Jerusalem, and I even as a deported person, I was meeting with the heads of Mossad, in sometimes in Tunis, sometimes in Morocco, and try to see what could happen and what things should we do there, and convince Arafat that he is doing the right thing. And when he went there, then I said, "You took Arafat there. Why you are afraid to let me go there in court?" So again, we went back to court, and they allowed me to come only for a month, once a year for a month.
To Jerusalem. Yeah.
Yeah.
So take me to. Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a life.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot be. And anything I do, I'm not lazy. Like, I have to keep busy, everything. It doesn't matter what.
Sure.
And,
Yeah.
and over there, I've been busy. Over here, I'm busy in the States.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another thing that not so many people know. When
Yeah.
Trump took those kids away from their parents, okay, I applied that we have to bring those kids back to their parents. I applied for $150 million, and in a week I got it. And I hired people from Latin America to go and listen to the voices of the kids, what kind of slang they have, to know which country they are in and which village they are in, to go and meet parents for them and to put them back together.
Yeah.
This is nonviolence to me. See what I mean by nonviolence?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
This is nonviolence. It's not only just being in the street or having a sign or a march or go on a hunger strike. Then another thing on a hunger strike, when I went in prison before my deportation, Eddie Kaufman, whose two of his children are in the Israeli Air Force, outside the prison, he went on a hunger strike. So Jonathan came to me and said, "Mubarak, you are fat. You could hold it for a month or two, but that fellow's skinny." Okay? So he's troubling himself, he's going hungry. What about stopping after 2 weeks? And I was upset. Why an Israeli go on a hunger strike for me? You see, you don't know that, but he said he felt he had to do it. And the Israeli society knew that because it was in the news. They start spitting at him. They start putting garbage on him. So he have his two sons to come and protect him from the Israeli who's throwing trash at him.
Wow.
I have John Bayaz to come outside the prison just to sing for me. What else?
Wow.
What else you want? This is the most important thing, that people, even if you are in jail, there is hope. Always there is hope. And that's beautiful way of understanding other people, because we as humans, we have empathy. Okay?
Yeah.
But we have to use it. We have to have action on it. Okay? We don't say, oh, I'm sorry, what happened in the news. No, if you see something on the news, do it. Try to do something to help. Don't just be quiet and silence. Silence is that you accept what's going on in the government.
Yeah. Well, if we could, because we've been going a while, I want to bring this conversation, which is incredible, to today. And since October 7th, I mean, you could talk about your experience maybe on that day. Obviously, we haven't brought in Hamas or maybe the parts of the Palestinian resistance, which certainly do not subscribe to your methods. You could tell me.
No.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. Respond. Yeah.
No. I went to Qatar several times to talk to Hamas about nonviolence.
In what years? That's fascinating. What years were you? Yeah.
6, 7 years ago.
Okay. Yeah. So with Haniyeh and these leaders.
Some of them, they accept it very well. Others reject it completely. But those who accept it well, they really are using it well. Very well, they use it. Okay?
Yeah.
And I'm still in contact with them, those who accept it. Yeah. I took then other people who believe in nonviolence to talk to them again. And we are really very much, the Israelis have difficulties in negotiating with Hamas. That's a big problem. Okay, to them, it's a degrading to negotiate with Hamas, rather than saying we have to negotiate because we want to get our hostages out. It's like, why should we talk to them? Well, like, we want the hostages out, you have to talk to the devil to get them out. They don't understand the system on that. And with what happened in Gaza, I lost so much confidence with any Israeli government, any Israeli military, any Israeli person who believes that what Israel is doing there is right. I really felt that they lost God, they lost sense of humanity, they lost dignity, what they are doing in Gaza. And the world, around the world, they put a name bad for Jews around the world because they think they are doing it in the name of Jews. And this idea is going to be dealt very badly for any Jew around the world, which is sad, very sad, because there are good Jews around the world who are not willing to accept Israel as part of their God.
Yeah. That, I agree with you on these. I'm just going to try to play the devil's advocate of October 7th. Just how did you experience that day when you heard the news that there was this incident, Al-Aqsa flood? What were you thinking? What kind of fears did you have? Did you understand sort of why they did it? Were you afraid it would be misunderstood? Were you afraid of what they did? Like, can you take me through that incident in that day? Because for so many people who haven't lived your life or has been as close to it as you've been, or maybe I followed it, they have so much trouble with what you just said. How do you experience that?
I thought it's normal. I really thought it's a normal thing. When you put
normal,
very normal.
Yeah.
When you put a cat in a corner and every day you beat the cat. One day the cat wants to jump on you and destroy your eyes, destroy your nose, destroy you.
Yeah.
It is a very common thing.
Yeah.
The Israeli cannot do things and not expect somebody will hit them back.
Yeah.
You could hit them as hard as possible. They'll hit also. So that's normal. It's not a non-violent, but it's a very normal thing. You have to accept it and go through what it is, how to avoid it. But the Israelis used to avoid those. They go and hit and hit and hit, and then they don't expect that any Palestinian will kill an Israeli soldier. And when they kill an Israeli soldier, they say, oh, we have to kill them all. They kill an Israeli soldier. This fantasy have to go out of their mind, the Israeli government. And now the Israeli government is more vulgar, the word vulgar, than Netanyahu.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am not accepting it at all. I see that this is hurting Israel, hurting the Jewish people, and they cannot continue doing that in the name of Judaism. There is a God, and the God is not only for Jews, God for Christian, Muslim, and for those who don't believe in him. He is God for everybody. But he doesn't accept what one group do to the other in the name of God.
Yeah. So like
That part.
when you talked like Hamas and nonviolence, you're talking about things like the march against the wall, the March of Return, and displays like that would fall in. Yeah.
We did that a lot with them, and they accept that as harsh as possible. But it was nonviolence.
Yeah. But it was met with violence by
They met
the
with violence and
Israelis.
they start killing that. So to those who believe in nonviolence, they said, we did it. They shoot us at us.
Yeah.
I said, well, this is part of nonviolence. You don't expect your enemy to be nonviolence as you. But you took that chance because you decided to do that. Nobody forced you. Nonviolence is not a force to do it. You are not in the army to say go and kill, okay? You are doing it because that's what your feeling is, and you accept that responsibility, even if you got shot.
So let's end with what you think is going to happen. And it doesn't have to end with hope if you don't have hope, because things are so dark now, right? So many people have been moved by the images that we've seen, especially of starvation recently, and they need something to change. I've heard in some of your talk about particularly why this issue of Palestine and justice, dating back from the beginning of your story, the initial injustice that has never been sought with genuine effort to find justice from that injustice. If we can achieve that, I've heard you say things like, achieve this, and you can stop taking your shoes off on the planes, and like the domino effect of so many things. I mean, I feel like some people think we're obsessed with Israel and Palestine, but it is a big deal. Do you think it's like a domino that can fall, but we just have to make sure it falls the right way? Where do you see this going? It's so bleak, it's so dark.
I think it as I'm not a philosopher, but as philosophy, that what happened in Germany, it's a cloud, the cloud put the Jews in a very bad position, and many of them were killed.
Yeah.
Then this cloud is now on Gaza and on the Palestinian. It will go away. It cannot continue. It cannot maintain itself. Okay, it will go away. It depending on how those who did it to the Palestinian can sleep with their wife, with their children, when they kill the children of other people, when they kill the wives of other people. They have to commit suicide before they sleep well. Because we as a human, we cannot tolerate ourselves doing this without harming us. And that have to stop by itself. It's not the Palestinian can stop it. The Israelis have to stop it because it's destroying the fabric of the Jewish concept of God, the Jewish concept of humanity, the Jewish concept of human rights. Look at the Jews everywhere in the world. They fight for human rights. They fight for justice. But when it comes to the Israelis, they switch. Even the best of them, they switch because of us as Palestinians. And we Palestinians have to let them know we are not against Israel. As Israel, we are against them by taking our land, by not giving justice, that they take justice of us. We will we are tolerant people. And look at our history. And if things they can deal with us as equal, we will forget what they did. We don't forget it at all if they continue doing it now and continue doing it. Even I am proud of the people in Gaza. With all that difficulty, with all the things, they are not leaving. They are steadfastness. They say, this is ours, we will continue even our death. The Israeli have difficulty with that. Israeli will take away, will go, every time. In countries, they leave all the countries. They leave Germany, they leave France, they leave South Africa. They come away, they run away. They don't. If you are French, for God's sake, your religion is Jewish, but be French, be German, be Italian, be Arab, Jew. Don't just run away. You have to get away from this concept of Zionism, and don't let it destroy you as it destroys so many others. It's a tough one, because Zionism is not a religion as for Jews. It's a destructive of a Jewish group.
Wow. Mubarak, I think that I'm just like privileged to have that interview. I've interviewed a lot of people in my life, and I think that may have been the most beautiful and interesting one I've ever done. That was just so important. And so just thank you so much. That was incredible.
So thank you for giving me that privilege, and hope that people can write you notes, send the notes to me. I'm more than willing to respond to anything I said.
So like he said at the end there, I'll put the links. I could put them on the screen here and in the description and in the comment about his Center for Nonviolence. And if you'd like to reach out to him, please do. I mean, he does amazing work and continues to, and is just an incredible person. So like and subscribe, obviously. Thank you so much for all of you who've kept an eye on me and continue to. I have more important interviews lined up. The next one is with Adam Haniyeh, who is just, I'm so excited to talk to him about. He's really an expert, also a Palestinian, on petrochemicals in the world, and is particularly the Middle East. So we're going to be talking about the petrodollar and oil and natural gas and a lot of the resource battles that underscore or maybe motivate so much of the violence we see in that part of the world and a lot of the world today and yesterday and likely tomorrow. So tune in for that one from Adam Haniyeh. Thanks so much. See you next time.